Hello, pet parents, and welcome to BlogPaws 2016. I'm Robert Semro, and I am joined by one of the speakers of what I think is one of the most important sessions here at BlogPaws, Ruth Carter, Esquire. That's right, she's an attorney, folks. She's going to help all of us here stay out of a lot of trouble. I want to start by saying thank you for doing this, but also give the title of your book, because I love that.
So when I started in law school, I got into blogging, and I had to figure out how far can I push the envelope before I cross the line. And so I started doing research on it, and that turned into my first of 3 books called The Legal Side of Blogging: How Not to Get Sued, Fired, Arrested, or Killed.
There you have it. Those are the important things. They're probably the top 5 of 6, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid that myself. So
aren't we
I
all?
love this. You know, it is a serious topic, though, because as we've seen the explosion of blogging, we see a lot of folks getting right up to that line. What are you going to be sharing? What are some of your best practices for folks who aren't in attendance but are watching this now, maybe getting a refresher?
So the 2 main things we're going to focus on is we're going to talk about copyright issues, because that's an issue for everyone, both in terms of when can you use other people's material and what can you do if you find someone stealing your content. And then the other thing we're going to talk a lot about are the FTC rules that apply to promotions, campaigns, affiliate links, things like that. And then one of the great things about having a 3-hour workshop instead of just a 1-hour talk is we get to allow a ton of time for audience questions. So I'm really excited that we have this extended time to really dig into everyone's concerns.
Now, it is one of those things that a lot of folks, you know, they start with the blog and they just say, I'm putting out my own personal opinion so I can say whatever I want and I have absolute freedom. You can't stop me. I have a first. That doesn't necessarily apply, does it?
Well, the answer to every legal question starts with it depends.
Yes.
So just because you have the First Amendment right to free speech does not mean that there won't be repercussions to what you say. So if you write a blog about puppies and your boss hates puppies and you're an at-will employee, you could actually be fired because of your blog. So yes, there are times where you've done legally nothing wrong, but you still have repercussions or just reputational issues. If you're jumping on your digital soapbox about whatever and people dislike you for it, it could have long-term repercussions. But on the flip side, you know, the beauty of the internet is it provides a platform for a broader group of people to be able to share their thoughts and perspectives. But as you said, just because you can doesn't mean you always should share everything that's on your mind every chance you have it, because today's justifiable anger may be tomorrow's regret.
Without a doubt. Great advice there. Now, the other aspect that you're going to be covering is the contest, the giveaways. And there's a lot that we have to take in mind. I mean, it's funny because we all hear the little disclaimers when we're listening to the radio or on TV and all that. But when we go to the internet, for some reason, we seem to not always see that. What's your advice on how people need to approach this? Because there are legal requirements.
Right. No, there are FTC rules that require you to disclose anytime you have a relationship with a company, whether it's you got free product or you're doing a promotion with them, or even just like the owner of the company is your brother-in-law. Anything that might suggest that you have bias, you need to disclose that. And if you are going to give your opinion about a product, it has to be both true and accurate. So if it's a product that you have mixed feelings about, you can't just talk about what you like. You have to also disclose the things you wish were a little bit different.
Sure. Now, you've been doing this for a while. What have been some of the surprises that you've come across as you've gone on this journey?
You know, I've gotten to the point where nothing shocks me. I keep an eye on the analytics of my website so I can see what people are searching for and ending up on my site. And there are a lot of people who think they can do things that they really can't do. I get a lot of questions about people asking about privacy issues, like, can someone post my photo on the internet without my consent? And unfortunately, it looks like there are a lot of jilted lovers out there that have a desire to post sex tapes or intimate photos of their ex and without getting caught.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Generally, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And in Arizona, we actually call that a felony.
Well, now, for you, you have been using social media in a number of different ways. Where do you see the blogging world evolving into over the next few years?
You know, I have stopped predicting where we're going next because it's always growing. And I mean, whoever would have thought that we would have needed to communicate in 140 characters? I never would have predicted that. So
Yeah, there's not a class. There wasn't a class when I went to school for that.
Right, or 10-second videos on Snapchat. Who knew that was going to be a thing? So I don't predict. My goal is to, both as a blogger and an attorney, is I try to keep up with what's coming down the pike next so that I can help people stay out of trouble along the way.
Sure. And is there anything on your radar that's exciting you?
Everything.
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 Okay. Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, we're seeing an explosion, but you know what, folks? You have got to stay in touch with what's legal, what's gray area, and then what is absolutely do not do. How can they follow what you're doing? Because you're giving out some really great advice.
So if you just want to Google Ruth Carter, you'll probably find me. It's not a very common name, but I'm also at geeklawfirm.com is like my main landing page. And then also on Twitter, I'm RB Carter.
Well, thank you so much for what you're doing here at BlogPaws 2016. So important, really going to help a lot of folks. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.